We're talking about severe illness today and everything related to severe illness cover. Now, like I said earlier, you can call it severe illness. Some people call it critical illness. Some people call it dread disease cover. What is it? What is severe illness cover? So this is a cover that will give you financial support in the event that you get diagnosed with one of the severe illnesses on their list of severe illnesses. It's things like cancer, stroke, heart attack, those kind of illnesses that might befall us and that will create a lot of extra medical expenses. So that is what the cover is for. So the question I get asked quite a bit is, but isn't it the same as disability cover or medical aid, my medical aid? Surely my medical aid will pay for it. Or surely I've got disability cover, so if this happens to me, my disability cover will cover me. Now, how I explain it to people where severe illness falls in, or severe illness cover falls into your risk management plan, is if we look at the three main things that can go wrong with you as a person. You could pass away, you could become disabled, which means you cannot work and you can't look after yourself, or you could have a major medical expense or hospitalization. So if we boil it down to the bad stuff happening to you in life, there's those three things. You can pass away, you can become disabled, or you can have a major medical expense. Severe illness falls in the middle of the three. So it's where the others don't quite reach. It falls in the middle, almost like a seal, to make sure that doesn't matter what happens to you, you have something that will look after you financially and make sure that your life and your dependents' lives can continue as usual. So let's take, for example, one of the most well-known severe illnesses like cancer. When you get diagnosed with cancer, you can pass away from cancer, but you're not necessarily going to pass away from it so that your life cover will pay out. You can become disabled from cancer, but you're not necessarily going to become disabled so that your disability cover will pay out. Your medical aid will pay for some of the expenses, but as we all know, the medical aid won't pay for everything. There will be extra expenses. And that is where the severe illness falls in, where the others don't quite reach, in the middle. Now, when can you claim for your severe illness? Well, how severe illness works is that once you get diagnosed with the illness, so it works on the diagnosis. So this is where a lot of people get confused between severe illness and disability cover because they feel like it's almost the same thing. Severe illness you can claim for on the diagnosis of the illness. You then have a claim, and the claim will then be looked at by the claims clerks and the underwriters, and they will then decide if you have a valid claim. But that's on diagnosis. Disability kicks in when that illness has an effect, either a temporary or a permanent effect on your life, specifically permanent. So when you get diagnosed, so you have a heart attack, the moment you have been diagnosed with having a heart attack, you have a potential claim on your severe illness cover. You wouldn't necessarily have a claim on disability yet, because it will only have to be determined whether that heart attack will have a temporary or permanent effect on your ability to generate an income or generate or have your normal standard of living before you have a disability claim. But on diagnosis, you already have a potential claim for severe illness. But on any severe illness policy, there is what they call a survival period. So what does that mean? So sometimes, and again, this is something you have to look at in the specific company you are insured with. Sometimes that survival period can be 14 days. Sometimes the survival period can be 30 days. Most of the big companies have now moved it to a 14-day survival period. Some of the older benefits still have a 30-day survival period. What does a survival period mean? It means that if the dread disease event, the severe illness event happened, you had a heart attack, let's say you had the heart attack and the next day you pass away. Your life cover will pay out. Your dread disease will not pay out because it will then be looked at as a death claim, not a severe illness claim. So for you to claim on your severe illness benefit, you have to survive 14 days after the diagnosis of the illness. So if you have a heart attack, you get into a hospital, you survive for 14 days, and on day 15, you pass away. Your estate will have a severe illness claim as well as a death claim, not just the one or the other. So there is a survival period that you have to go through. Now, let's look at it in practice. Let's say, for example, you get cancer. So the moment you are diagnosed with the cancer, you will be able to claim on your severe illness. That severe illness payout will then help you to cover the medical expenses that you have to incur as a result of the illness that you have now contracted, which means that where the medical aid doesn't fit in, if you have some extra expenses at home, you might need specific medication or whatever the case may be, the medical or the severe illness will then cover those costs for you. Once it shows that because of the cancer you cannot work, so you are getting chemotherapy, and because of that you cannot work for a period of time, your income protection, your disability income protection will kick in. That disability income protection will then start paying you a monthly income every month for as long as you are losing income as a result of your sickness or accident. Now, let's just clarify that quickly. This is not a discussion on disability. I'll do a talk about that at a later stage. But just to understand disability income benefit. Disability income benefit is an income replacement benefit. You can only claim on your disability income once you have lost income as a result of your disability or your accident or your illness. So once the cancer that you have now contracted stops you from earning an income, you will be able to claim on your disability income. Just a very quick point, again, a question that I get quite a bit from people is, but what if I'm retrenched? Can I claim on my disability income? Disability income is not, or income protection is not a retrenchment cover. And a lot of people through this COVID period that got retrenched thought that they would be able to claim on their income protection. Income protection is for if you cannot work because of an accident or illness, not because of retrenchment. Okay, so now you've been diagnosed with cancer, you have been able to put in your claim for severe illness, you got that payout. Now you cannot work because of the treatment that you're getting for cancer. Therefore, you can claim on your income protection benefit. Once it's determined that this is a permanent situation, you will never be able to work again because of your illness, you will then be able to claim on your capital disability. The capital disability will then pay out to make sure that you can cover all of your debts, pay off all the debt that you have, as well as have capital to make any changes to your lifestyle as a result of your disability. You might need to get a new bed, a bath, a wheelchair, build ramps at home, things like that, get an oxygen set, things like that because of your disability. And then once you pass away, your life cover will then pay out. So you can see the sequence of events. On diagnosis, the dread disease kicks in. Once the effect of that illness stops you from earning an income, your income protection kicks in. Once that effect becomes permanent, your capital disability kicks in. And once you pass away, your life cover kicks in. So it's different benefits for different events that happen. It's not that the one is replacing the other one, it's adding to the other one. And the severe illness is the first building block of this whole sequence. And it fits fills the gap where the others don't really get to.